people are not the school environments that teachers have today. They're just not. They're just not. But then we also, like, I'm telling you right now, if Camden Save Our Schools and Camden Parents Union work together, Camden is on lock. Camden is on lock. Because in the middle of the rain, on a Wednesday night, you got a room full of people. And nobody has jumped up and said, this room should be full. I hate when people say that. Whenever somebody says that to me, that sucks the soul out of a meeting. But the fact is that you all came together on a Wednesday night and you filled the room. Very few people left. People are active and engaged. In other words, you have an informed base. What any organizer would kill to have. So the question is, how do you turn this 60 people, 50 people to 200 people? All right? And hold on, brother, I got you. So community wisdom and academic expertise. You have to have a relationship based on mutual respect. That's right. And we define respect as recognizing someone's worth or importance. Real simple. Recognizing someone's worth or importance. One of the greatest women I ever worked with, God rest her soul, name was Linda Brown. Linda Brown died in 2006. Linda Brown was the mama in the neighborhood. If we wanted to get parents to come to a meeting, I could call Linda Brown 2 days before the meeting and say, Miss Brown, I need about 10 parents. And she would always say, anything for the kids, Brother Jitu. I knew I was getting on her nerve, but no matter, if I needed a chaperone for a trip, Miss Brown was there. This woman was so incredible, she had a heart attack on the first floor of Fuller Elementary, and 3 days later was back in the school. She was a wonderful woman. She was salt of the earth, wonderful woman. So the point I'm making, brothers and sisters, I developed a great respect for that woman. Not based on her worldly possessions, but based on who she was. All right? So mutual respect. Understand that as community members, you can't do this without teachers. And teachers, you can't do this without community members. So your platform must be a mutual platform. Teachers cannot tell parents what should be important to you. And parents cannot tell teachers what should be important to you. You all have to be able to listen to each other. So I'm proposing a couple of listening projects where teachers get in the room and talk about what is privatization doing to your ability to teach. And our job as parents is not to comment, not to get up, well, y'all should be. No, listen to the struggles that teachers are going through. Consequently, parents should have a listening project, and teachers should listen to parents talk about what is it like to live in a city that has been abandoned. What is it like when your child goes out and you're so scared to let your child even go out and play? Right? Now, I don't live in Camden, but I know this is your reality because I'm from Chicago, same flavor. Am I telling the truth? Yeah. So if we mutually respect each other and we come together on that platform and you develop a code of conduct and you adhere to that code of conduct, which you will violate, but at least you have it. So if somebody steps out of pocket, if somebody says something immature, we don't act like babies and storm out the room. You go hard on the issue and compassionate with the person. Repeat after me. Hard on the issue and compassionate with the person. That's how nation builders think. That's how the people that are taking over your school systems think. They don't sit up and get in the room and argue and say, you know what, my name ain't on the flyer, so I'm leaving. Or you know what, I didn't get to speak at that event, and I was supposed to speak, so I'm leaving. That's why they run in our community. That's right. That's why they run in our community. I'm trying to be a nation builder. So when I go back in the dirt, I can look at my God and say I did everything I can. And I mean that when I'm saying, y'all, I'm far from perfect. I'm far from perfect. But I want y'all to understand what I'm saying to you. We can't play checkers while they playing chess. That's right. They are thinking like nation builders, and they are building a nation where teachers aren't in it. They're building a nation where you aren't in it. And that's just the truth. And so if you think like a child while somebody else is thinking like a nation builder, you are destined to lose. you all have nothing to fight about. Because you got a common enemy who's serious. They don't care if Arnie Duncan can't teach his way out of a paper bag. They don't care. They'll name charter schools after every goofy hedge funder they can find. It doesn't matter. Because it's a $7 trillion business, the demise of you all's profession and the destruction of your community. All right? So, in order to do this, brothers and sisters, you all got to listen to each other. But also, we said it in the small group, you have to plan little victories. I need y'all to hear me. Gary, I need you to stop. And I need you, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this, because this is important. Because you're a warrior, and I want you to hear this. You know I got love for you, so I want you to hear me. Plan little victories. I worked with a parent at a school called Doolittle East named Dolly Perkins. I used to tell Dolly, we can do this, and we can do this. And her word to me was, they ain't gonna let us do nothing. They ain't gonna let us do nothing. So one day, a baby at Doolittle not hit hard, but actually got hit by a car, fell down, everybody freaked out. So she started her first campaign, which was to get wooden horses along a walkway so that students can walk off school grounds without getting hit. That was her first organizing victory. Her next victory was winning a parent room. The principal, out of spite, because she didn't want the parents in the building, y'all know how that go, right? Out of spite, she put the, boy, people so trifling. She put the parent room on the 3rd floor. So, but by now, she had a core group of parents. Only about 10 of them, but she had a group of parents. So they went to battle. They started passing out flyers. I'm working with her. She passing out flyers to parents. She going to seniors in particular. Why is Ms. Lennox putting this parent room on the 3rd floor? 2 weeks, that parent room was in room 106. And that was the beginning of Dolly Perkins taking off. We planned out little victories because everything that teachers seek teach us we can't win. Bear with me 1 second, okay? Yes, sir. Everything that educators see teach us that we can't win. You need to understand, to teacher union people here, your members are demoralized. I don't have to be from Camen. Because in Chicago, 6,000 teachers lost their jobs in 6 years. You go into school and the teacher saw you coming, they go the other way. When Karen Lewis and them came into power, they had an active campaign to go around school by school and ask teachers what you care about, and then they were public with advancing the teacher's agenda. And we together, community and labor, did a march on Mayor Rahm Emanuel's house on December the 7th, 2012. 800 people marched to that man's house. That was the first large mobilization that Chicago Teachers Union had. I'm giving you real history. And that set the tone for the Chicago teachers strike. Because after that, our mobilizations got bigger and bigger and bigger until they had 25,000 people filling up the streets downtown. Because the base got inspired. Remember, education is inspiration and information. So you can't judge people who've been taught they can't win if they don't come out. You have to inspire them. You have to inspire them. Now, in closing, you like that? Okay, okay. So I think that you all have opportunities to identify schools that you all want to work together on. So if NJEA and CEA have priority schools, we now have something called the 5th option. It's part of Journey for Justice, one of our victories. You know, the money that they use from the federal government to close schools, to turn around schools, you can now use them for what they call the 5th option. Whole school reform model, sustainable community schools. You can use federal money for community schools. So build up demand from young people, from parents, and from educators on 2 schools that y'all want to fight for. 2 schools. Camden Parents Union. Camden, Save Our Schools. Save Our Schools, Camden. Middle-age moment, forget it. Save Our Schools, Camden. And then identify those 2 schools, begin to engage people around what they want to see, produce a document that says this is what we want, knock on some doors, talk to people, educate them around why the Renaissance schools are bogus, and watch people get on board. I'm telling you what I know. Because in a community similar to this, we waged a war in Bronzeville. All right? So, the last thing I want to say to y'all is you have to ask yourself a very important question. Do you want to be an activist or do you want to be an organizer? That's a very serious question. An activist speaks to an issue. An activist lifts their voice. They speak for the people. An organizer creates the space where people can speak for themselves. An organizer moves people. So you have to ask yourself, are you being an activist or are you being an organizer? Be humble and ask yourself that question. And then if you are being an activist, figure out how to learn to be an organizer. Because organizers move people. Activists move their mouths. So in order for us to beat them, they're moving off money power. We must generate people power. Right? And don't blame the people. Don't blame the people. Because if you have organized, you don't have to have 1 million people to change the world. You don't need 1,000 people to change Camen. You don't. You don't. 12 people now have sustainable campaign in Chicago for Chicago to become a sustainable community school district instead of a choice district. There is momentum now. You know, we actually, Jackson Plot and Chicago Teachers Union, we're actually walking into different schools and we're getting parents signed up to say this is what they want to do. While Chicago's in the midst of scandal, it's a moment. It's a moment. And so know that the Journey for Justice Alliance, we have plans to do listening projects on public education as a human right. What we're going to be doing is in 12 different cities, we'll be doing these listening projects in partnership with Amnesty International, the human rights organization. We'll be filing human rights complaints in targeted cities. We would love for Camden to be one of those cities. And in February, we are doing a forum at the United Nations. Now, I'm not sitting here saying the United Nations is going to bust a grape, right? But what I am saying is that it puts a different type of pressure on the United States. And during a presidential election, it raises the issue of public education in the United States. Because what's happening to our babies is hateful, and it's wrong, and it's evil. And I think that we just the people to change it. Thank you very much.